Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I'm back. You know you could easily ask me to do that, right? Well, I thought it'd be fun if I do it. Oh. Cue intro. Hey guys and gals, it's me Super Rocket, and today we're going to be reviewing Terminator Dark Fate. I know I'm a bit late on this, but I did make that reference in the previous video at the end, so yeah, there's no turning back now. So without further ado, let's start the review, and it's going to be a full spoiler review. There's no non-spoiler review this time, so yeah, let's cue the warning as well. So I was very interested to watch this film because this is going to be considered the actual Terminator 3, because, well, this is going to remove all of those other movies that came out after Terminator 2. That means Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines didn't happen, and all of those until Terminator Genesis, all that is gone. So yeah, that really made me interested to see how they're going to make it, you know, the real Terminator 3, because they also got James Cameron back as producer. So yeah, there's a lot of aspects of this movie that I noticed that really feels like this could be the real Terminator 3. Even though this movie takes place years after the first two films, it still really feels like we picked up where we left off, and besides, the first two films kind of have a major gap anyways, so it's not much of a big deal. And of course, the main point of, you know, this being connected to the previous two films, of course, is, you know, Sarah Connor, and I really like what they did with her character here. Of course, she's old now, but she's still fun and badass in this movie, and I really like that. And I also really like the Terminator in this film. It's kind of a combination. Of course, you get to see, you know, separate, make it, you know, how do I say it? You know, it can separate into two entities, which of course is the liquid form and the, you know, the skeleton form, of course. So yeah, I really like that. And I also really like that they introduced you know, cybernetic enhanced humans. I know that's not the most original concept, of course, because we've seen that before in the past, but it's kind of expected for that to be in this, you know, in the Terminator franchise. I kind of expected that to come at some point, so yeah, here it is. But yeah, even though there's a lot of stuff in this movie that does kind of make it feel like this is the actual Terminator 3, there's one thing that really stops it from being the real Terminator 3, if that makes any sense, and that's the plot. And of course, the plot is the most important thing in a movie, so yeah, this is a big thing. The plot is literally the same as the previous two films. A Terminator goes back in time to, you know, assassinate someone who's gonna be the leader of a resistance in the future, and another person goes back in time to protect that person. Yeah, you can literally see it. It's not like the future's any different. You can literally see both futures in this film, and they're not that much different. In the previous future, there are skulls on the ground. Ooh. And then the new future, there's skulls on the ground. I don't know, I kind of feel like this movie could have been more unique. I mean, come on, there's a lot of other stuff they could do to, you know, make it more different from the others. Like, they literally hint into a different idea. I mean, come on. Of course, you got the, you know, the T-800, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. And this one actually assassinate John Connor, you know, getting orders from a future that didn't happen. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then we get to see him later and get to adapt and actually feels more human. I kind of feel like they could have explored that. Maybe you get to see, you know, Sarah Connor trying to hunt this Terminator down. Maybe have some people, you know, join her cause or something like that. I don't know, and, you know, try to find him and then realize that he's actually a very good person now or something like that. It would be interesting if they did that instead of, you know, doing whatever they did in this film. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. But I really like the action in this film. I really like the car chase at the beginning. I really like the moment where Sarah Connor comes in, does that badass little, you know, shooting the missile at the Terminator, like dun 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 boosh. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I kind of feel like they overdo it at sometimes. Like in the finale, it kind of feels like, you know, when a kid tries to play with their toys and they made like a big story. I kind of feel like that's what's going on here. It's like, and then this happened, and this thing happens, and boosh, and then an explosion, and then this happens, and it goes there, and then it goes there. That's literally the finale of Terminator Dark Fate. Yeah, I mean, it was entertaining. I mean, a lot of stuff there was pretty entertaining, but it was a bit too much there. But still, I kind of feel like overall the action in this movie is pretty good. I really like what they did here. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Terminator Dark Fate. Sure, it's not really the real Terminator 3, but it's the closest we got to a real Terminator 3. You gotta admit that. So yeah, maybe they're gonna make a more unique story in the sequel. And yes, there is gonna be a sequel. This is technically the first part, as I recall, to a a trilogy of films. So hopefully, if this movie does well, I didn't really see how well this movie did yet, but yeah, if this did well, then I can't wait to see what they did in the sequel. Hopefully, they make a more unique story than this. Sure, I kind of feel like it could be just them going to find the people who made the new the new Skynet, which of course is Legion, but which of course we see before Terminator 2. But I kind of feel like they could make it there's the potential to make it more different from Terminator 2. So yeah, hopefully that will be the case. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So with that said, alright guys and gals, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, as I said in the first seconds of this video, I'm back. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be a bit more free now because it's November. I have no school now, so yeah, I can probably put more time into making more videos. So I'll see. I don't really have that much plans to do any reviews yet, but I'll see what we have on the list of movies coming out in November. I'm not sure if it's a lot, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. So until then, rock it on. That was pretty good.